Hey guys, welcome to Modeling Manhood. Today we're going to be talking about a crazy, unbelievable story once again here. So one day when I was traveling down the main road from our house to get to church, I found a 5-gallon bucket kind of smashed all the way across the road with tools all over in it. And I'm like, this is really strange. Like somebody lost all their tools. And I took all the tools, put them in my truck, continued going. And about a year later, I was working on a building project. And one of the guys that I was working with goes, "Did you steal my hammer?" And I'm like, looking all over. I'm like, didn't know who he was talking to. He's like, "Isaac, did you steal my hammer?" I'm like, "No, I didn't steal your hammer." He goes, "That's my hammer." I'm like, "No, that's my East Wing hammer." He's like, "No, that is my East Wing hammer." He goes, "On the bottom of the hammer, you can see where my dog bit it. And there's like a notch missing out of it when I dropped it off the roof while I was building my house." And I'm like starting to get like, well, maybe it is his hammer. I'm like, my dad has the same hammer. It's probably one of my dad's hammers or one of the ones that I just grabbed out of the shop because I got a bunch of hammers and like collecting hammers and axes. He's like, "No, that's my hammer." And he's like, "I lost this hammer like a year ago." You know, he's like talking, and I'm like, "Oh my goodness, maybe it's your 5-gallon bucket of tools I found." And I'm like, "By chance, did you happen to lose some other tools with this hammer?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I had all my tools in the back of my pickup truck, but the tailgate was down, and when I got to my job, all the tools were missing." And I'm like, "I happened to pick up a 5-gallon bucket of tools like a year and a half ago or whatever." And I'm like, "Tell you what," I said, "I like you." I said, "Come on over to my house." I said, "You can go through every single tool I have in my building. And if any of the tools are yours that you've been missing or that you need," I said, "you can have them." I said, "I'd rather have a good friendship with you than being accused of stealing your hammers or your multimeter or whatever pliers that your grandfather or whoever gave to you." And he came over and he went through all my stuff. He's like, thank you so much." And you know what? Sometimes when we borrow tools, they don't always come back in the condition that we lent them out to. And we want to make sure that we're being good stewards of what God's given us. And I was so happy that he found his hammer and that I wasn't a liar like he thought I was, and that we can still be friends to this day. But just kind of one of those crazy stories. Like, imagine showing up to a job site and like somebody's like, "You're using all my tools," and you're like, "What are you talking about?" And that's pretty much what happened. And luckily I was able to get him back his tools, and there was a happy ending to that story. Kind of reminds me of a floating axe story in 2 Kings. In 2 Kings 6, if you guys want to join me there. "Now the sons of the prophet said to Elijah, 'See, the place where we dwell under your charge is too small for us.'" So they're saying, basically, the house where we're living is too small. This little apartment's too small for us. "Let us go up to the Jordan, each of us, and get a log, and let us make a place for us to dwell there." And Elijah answered, he said, "Go." And one of them said, "Be pleased to go with your servant." And he said, "I will go." So he went with them. And when they came to the Jordan, they cut down trees. But as the one was felling the log, his axe head fell off into the water, and he carried it, and he cried out, "Alas, my master, it is a borrowed axe." Then the man of God said, "Where did it fall?" And the man showed him the place, and he placed a stick into the water, and the iron axe head actually floated up. And if you guys think of like an iron axe head, I'm going to grab one here. I got a busted one that I just happen to have. So if you guys think of like an axe head, nothing other than a magnet's going to be able to pick this out of the water. But imagine him just placing a stick into the water, and this whole axe kind of goes up to the surface. Just really cool. And he said, "Take it." So he reached out his hand and he took it. And I bet you that servant was really happy that he had the axe, had to go with the axe that he had borrowed to build that little apartment on so that they had more room to live while they were working and serving under Elijah. And it's so neat when there's happy endings to different stories like that. And I just want you guys to think about the things that you borrowed from other people. Have you given them back something in better condition? Or you're like, by the way, this broke or that broke. That's one reason why I hate borrowing stuff. And I've been burned on that one a few times, and really careful to lend my stuff out to people too. But imagine how happy that guy was when his axe head was returned, just like my friend getting his hammer back that he had built his house with, and his dog had chewed on and had a knock out of the handle where it had fallen off the roof and hit something. So thank you guys for joining us here at Modeling Manhood. Excited to bring you some new stories each and every day. Glad that you guys are joining us. Please subscribe if you guys haven't. Share it with some friends that you would think would be interested in hearing some crazy stories about just some dude, and a little bit of Bible each day. Remember, in the meantime, to mirror your Maker and journey with Jesus. Thanks for joining us.